Hello, guys. Welcome back. So, I'm going to tell you a story, and I know one of you probably already figured this out. In fact, I think I had figured it out, but it it took me a while to admit to it. Ever since my guardian angel, making my air quotes, showed back up, Asmodeus has been the doting parent. I mean, he couldn't be more loving, kind, compassionate, solicitous, following the little leopard cub around, making sure the little leopard cub doesn't go anywhere without daddy. It's kind of like how Loki gets with his kids. And I was thinking of this video saying, well, if demons and angels can learn to get along, blah, 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 blah. And, Asmodeus is doing that thing that if you work with him, I very strongly get leopards with him, even though they're not traditional, of making his little nests everywhere, and daddy leopard's gonna make sure baby leopard's taken care of. And I was like, well, this is really wonderful. I'm gonna tell you this story about, how angels and demons can get, ew. And when I figured it out, um, I didn't know what to do with it. I had to sit with it for a while, and I'm like, who's ever heard of a guardian Yo, okay. And, I was brought up Catholic. You have guardian angels there. You don't get the other flavor, but everybody else, apparently for eons, has got the other flavor. And just nobody sent me the memo. I'd read about it, recently as I was doing my research and brushing back up, and I'm like, oh, this is just, this is something people made up. This is something people made up to make themselves feel good. Blah, 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 blah. And once I realized that this angel, was a demon, and if he has an inside track with God, the God we're speaking of will be Lucifer or Satan. Um, I had to sit down and think about that for a while. And I had to think about a lot of stuff in my life for a while. And I was trying to practice my discernment and making sure I'm like, well, we've all been under a lot of stress. Am I making up a fantasy in my head? Am I just going to extremes? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? And the whole time, he's there. His wings drooping down, looking at me real sad. And really, he looks the way he always has, except for his eye color has changed. And looking at the ground. I don't want him. Yeah, I don't want him now, because I know. I think he's bad. Looking at the ground. And I'm like, not only does Asmodeus, I think, have to be his literal father, because it's like the same exact mannerisms. It's spooky. And I suppose they have children just as we do. I just never really thought of it. People say they have children. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm sure it's a lovely metaphor. Um, I kind of looked at him and I'm like, okay, okay. I said, this is an adjustment, but this makes sense. This makes sense why I've always felt more strongly called to demons than angels. And I said, just who the hell are the angels that I worked with? I've told you guys about Saint Michael and everything. And they're just kind of looking at the ground. I'm like, okay, we're not going to try to build Rome in a day. We'll figure this out. We'll figure out who everybody was. It's going to be okay. And I have a lot of questions, like who the hell was actually God? Because I'm getting the strongest sense it is not the Christian God. I try to watch for my friend to keep my word of honor. To me, that's extremely, extremely important. I tried to watch a sermon by her pastor, because her pastor's now doing the online thing, as all pastors are. And it was not only extremely repellent to me as a pagan, because I realized, I kind of woke up. I realized the evil people he was talking about, the only crime they committed, the only evil they committed, or that they were pagan. And again, I'm not trying to start anything. I respect people's religion, but I'm like, that's really, do you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth, dude? I felt God feel this utter repulsion, and I'm like, that's odd. Um, I agree with you. What he's saying is horrible and intolerant and unenlightened, but why would you? Oh. So I'm going to have to do a lot of soul searching in the next couple weeks, and I think we all kind of know, despite what the president would like. And the highlight of today's talk was when he actually ran out of the room to run away from reporters. Um, I'm gonna have a lot of time to adjust to it. And I'm like, you know what? It really doesn't matter to me whether they're demons in the ancient Greek sense of wise ones or they're jinn, because they're classified as jinn by some people. Even if they were demons in a Christian sense, they've never treated me as anything but kind and loving, and they want you to have integrity. I mean, for what they're supposed to rule over, because that's where the Christian view of them is hard and wrong. Um, they will have you disciplined. They will have you control your urges. They will have you control your spending. If they were really out to hurt people, they wouldn't give two damns about that. And Mammon has already started putting the lockdown on the finances again. And he's like, you're borderline to where you were. And I had even looked at the DQ because it's still open. I said to Loki, I said, "You want fries?" And that ma'am was like, "The hell you will. You get home and let me tell you something. I saw you grab that Coke, and I know you just grabbed it by automatic, and you came up with a clever response of why you couldn't put it back. But we're going to have a lecture, young lady, about financial responsibility. And on the whole way home, I'm here, beep, 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 beep." And that would not be anything a Christian would expect him to say, but that's a true, genuine experience with him and with Asmodeus too. They will, teach you, and they'll all be your teachers and guides. And the problem is, we almost have the same exact cookie cutter description of all the demons that are in any book. It's like they are wisdom and they will teach you liberal sciences because they're evil. And I'm getting laughter and applause back here. And, so it's hard to kind of learn what they really do because I've had Estroff show up off and on, definitely Mel, and just waiting for the penny to drop. Like, you will buy into every other religion, but you won't buy into the sense of Christianity talking about these spirits. Now, I don't buy into the Christian sense of them, but I wouldn't care if people would, because if this is what, let's say for argument's sake, they are Christian demons. I don't care. They've treated me quite well. So I'm sure one of you knew that. I'm sure one of you was like guardian angel my ass. Takes too much after Asmodeus. It's endearing. It's like big leopard and baby leopard. Big leopard, baby leopard. And when I kind of accepted that, I was like, this explains a lot about him. This explains why he used to do weird things. Not anything bad, but it would be like guardian angels usually don't like do any of the stuff he did, so I was like, okay. And I'm not going too much into stuff, not to be like big secretive or anything, but I'm still trying to sort out like, what's going on, making sure I'm not adding in stuff and adding details to my past that never happened. And I have been like practicing discernment left, right, and center and making sure that's not like we're all under great stress and I made up this fantasy because I have nothing better to do. So, I'm doing work with them, but it's okay. I'm kind of in shock. And I got this challenge from Asmodeus. He's like, I bet you won't make a video on it because I bet you'll just wait until your beliefs go back to the other way and you'll be, safe and you won't have to accept the fact that maybe you've had all demons all the time. I mean, I have the gods, but you know what I mean. And he said, I bet you won't help us, and I bet you won't say that. I bet you won't say nice things about demons, because who's going to say nice things about demons? You know what? I'll leave. He loves to do that. He loves to threaten to leave. He's going to leave because you don't love him, because you obviously don't love and respect demons, because you're not going to get up and make a video and, show them respect. And just because he's Asmodeus, Steve Hartman thing came up on empathy. And I know it was Asmodeus. Asmodeus is always the one reminding me to be nice to people and everything else. And either he or Mammon will be the ones that like follow me around and talk like your parent. And they're like, you have to be nice to these people. And I know that's not your religion anymore. And, you have to look forward. You have to be a responsible adult in these things. And you have to plan for this and everything else. And And by plan for, they mean like buy my Easter candy early, which is good thing they had foresight. My peeps are on the way. So we're going to have peeps in the house. Peeps and women's products is what they managed to ship. So I guess they made certain assumptions and they were like, oh my God, here you go. Here, have this and have some sugar. Are you okay? Don't hurt the neighbors. So I guess we're like, here you go. Don't hurt neighbors. Please don't. We're doing the best job we can. Um, so it's just an adjustment. And you know what? I don't mind. I think they've just been gently trying to take the story I was raised with, and they've been gently trying to take it out of my hands. And then Asmodeus, you know, Protective Daddy Leopard came out today, and Protective Daddy Leopard isn't going to wait anymore, so he just wants to swat with one of those leopard balls. Knocked the paradigm I grew up with out of my hands and watched it break and went, oh, that's so sad. And he's loving. He's kind. I know I can trust him, and we can always trust our gods, and we can trust demons, whoever we work with, because they're not bad. For 2,000 years, they've gotten bad press, but they're not bad. They'll take care of you. They'll watch over you. Lucifer seems happy. Satan seems happy, but Lucifer, I don't know if I said this recording, I've tried a couple of times. Lucifer is like, yeah, it's almost like we're related, huh? So, when he told me that, I looked at him, boom, and I was like, but you don't have any, ew. So, you know, it's just a learning curve for me. I can accept forward and backwards and sideways that gods have children, but I don't know. The idea of demons having children, even though you can see demons as gods or demons or spirits or whatever the hell you want to call them, the idea of them having children just, it took a lot of process. And, whether you would want to then classify my guardian as a demon, as a watcher, I really don't care. So I'm like, I don't care what you are. You're good to me. You love me. His personality hasn't changed. It's not like I found out who he is and a horror movie started and all hell broke loose. I can giggles back here. But it was something I figured I'd share because Asmodeus was really upset and his little toe was in a flood. And, he's so damn sweet and caring and loving and doting, and he becomes this ooey gooey pal of ooey gooey snow leopardness. And, it's like he just got so much bad press for so long. And when you start to work with him, and he's like Dionysus, where you'll just feel them, like, metaphorically speaking, draped all over you. You're their human and you're so nice and warm, and it's like that. They have no personal boundaries, but it's good, and it's been a thing of, I think, learning empathy, and I think learning that it's okay that my truth is different than it used to be. And I'm like, well, this gets me out of going to church because whoever I promised it was not the Christian God. And, it's going to be a time of exploring for me, which is going to be kind of fun. I don't know who God is. Every God I know has volunteered in a way. They have a point. They're all a God. It's just, I don't know who I talk to. When I would go to church, they were never in a church. They were always outside a church or kind of looking on. I need to process a lot of stuff. But by the way, this is my allergies, guys. I'm not sick, I promise. But if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.